Aubrey, do you have good vocabulary?
I think so. Every now and then I will think of a really great word, but then I won't use it because I'm worried the people around me will think I'm like, condescending or like being too
Like
maybe uppity.
pretentious?
Yeah, pretentious. That's the word. So I actually don't use a lot of the words that I'm learning while I'm reading or listening to podcasts or just that I've always known. I intentionally don't use them.
Really?
Um,
That
I know, isn't
surprises
that a bummer?
me.
I was thinking about that the other day. It just depends. I honestly, I need more friends who would appreciate this elevated vocabulary that I know that I kind of sometimes feel like I can't use just because it's not so much in the common vernacular. Like the word vernacular, I don't use on a day to day. I would like to.
Well, vernacular is a very specific word. I don't think that the idea comes up a lot in conversation.
And that's what it
Um,
is. Every now and then there'll be something I'm like, no, I don't want to use a word that potentially someone here doesn't know or will think that I'm pretentious for using.
I guess I choose, I don't filter myself
You
very
don't? That's
much.
good. I'm actually kind of jealous of you guys, our listeners, IELTS students who like have a reason to learn this interesting vocabulary and it's going to boost your vocabulary scores. The examiner's going to be super impressed. I'm kind of jealous. You have this great audience of one, the examiner, in your future. All the reason in the world to learn this impressive vocabulary.
And you know what, guys? Don't filter yourself. If
No,
you want to use great vocab. And that goes for you too, Aubrey.
that's
I think
true.
you really need to let out your amazing lexical resource, as
Love
one
that.
can say in IELTS. Okay, guys, let's get to it. So, we have an awesome question from a Three Keys student today. And I think a lot of you also have this question because we hear it quite
Mhm.
often in different forms, but it's essentially asking the same thing. So, Aubrey, can you read the question, please?
Yes, shout out to Helen, one of our Three Keys students who posted this in the Facebook group. Such a great question. She said, since I only need 6.5 on my writing score, I'm focusing on getting the grammar, fluency, and time management. I found out that in some of the IELTS writing templates, there are some very, very advanced vocabulary. And sometimes I need to change those since the rest of my essay doesn't have those high scoring vocabulary. I am worried that the examiner will see the difference. Is that something I need to get worried about? I was
Great
able to give
question.
her an answer right away because, yeah, I want to make sure she knows, oh, don't eliminate that vocabulary. But we're going to dive into all of the why so that everyone has the answer to this because it is an excellent question that could really affect your score on test day.
It's an awesome question, guys. First we will address the scoring details of that question, and then we'll give you a couple example sentences from our own Three Keys templates that show you great vocab and what you should be doing on the test, guys. So, first of all, no, it will never hurt your score to have good vocab. I see that question in various ways, like, um, but won't the examiner know that's not my vocabulary and, decrease my score? There's no like penalty for using good vocab, right? Like, let's look at this just very like simple, logical. There's no penalty for using good vocabulary. So let's say the only good vocabulary you use is in those template sentences, and all of your other vocabulary in the rest of your essay or letter is simple or repetitive, right? Because you're still using the good vocab from the template sentences, you can still get a 6 for vocab, even if you have nothing else that's interesting in the essay. So, at the very least, you should use those to ensure a 6 for vocab, right? Because just having the few terms, I would say if you use the template sentences, you're going to have at least 3 to 4 impressive
Mm.
vocabulary phrases. That's enough for a 6 in vocab, right? As long as your
Yes.
spelling isn't like atrocious the rest of the time.
Right. Absolutely.
So yeah, like
Unfortunately, it's
definitely.
yes, exactly, right? It's not pulling down your score ever. There's never a time where the examiner is going to see some high level vocab and dock you because it's not everywhere in the essay. But however, like you were saying, Jessica, it won't be enough to get a 7 or higher, right? Yes, you can get a 6, but there won't be enough words if they're just in these template sentences, these chunks. So much of your essay is your own ideas
Mhm.
supporting and your examples. And if you don't have
Yeah.
high level vocabulary there as well, there just won't be enough to score 7 or higher.
Exactly, exactly. The interesting thing about questions like this to me is the perspective that like we're trying to think so much about the examiner's mindset and what they're grading on. And it's like people almost wonder if the examiner grades you on your preparation. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
you prepared wrong. You memorized template sentences, and so I'm docking your score. Like there's nothing in the scoring system about that. You know what I mean? Like
yes.
I think it's more simple than you guys think. Like do you have some good vocab? Great, you get a 6. They came from template sentences or not, doesn't matter. You still get a
Yeah.
6 because you have some great vocab.
And I also feel like often this type of question or very similar questions, we see them a lot, come from a mindset of thinking the examiner is looking for ways to dock your score. Like they're
Yeah,
looking for
totally.
things that will pull down your score. And that's not really how it works. They have that scoring system. They're looking for those requirements to be in your essay so they can give you the score that you want.
So, having said that, how do we make sure that we get a 7 for vocab? Well, guys, you have to have some of your own great vocabulary, right? Listening to this podcast is a great way to go. We teach you a lot of good vocab. I would say, it's tough. It's tricky because students are always asking you like to quantify things like how many good words do I need to get a 7? But it's more involved than that, but I'm gonna try. So let's say you're using the fantastic template sentences from our 3 keys IELTS course. And so you have 3 or 4 great phrases already. I would say if you have 1 to 2 of your own high level vocabulary words in each paragraph, and that's not a lot, right? 1 to 2 of your own high level words in each paragraph, you can definitely get a 7 for vocab. Now, if we increase that to 3 or 4 of your own great words in each paragraph, then you can get an 8 for vocab. However, your spelling also has to be accurate. Remember that.
Yes, and remember, you can't be repeating the same words, right? If you use
Totally.
a band 9 word 4 times, that's not pushing your score up. These have to be unique words, right? Different high level
Exactly.
words in each sentence. Okay, so we are going to share a couple of template sentences from 3 Keys IELTS to point out if you were to use these, definitely there's no chance that the examiner is going to be like, oh, this has band 9 vocabulary. If I don't see that elsewhere in every sentence, I'm pulling down the score. That's not the case, right? But you do need these template sentences, first of all, to save you a lot of time and to have this built in high level vocabulary so that then all you have to do is add that high level vocabulary of your own in the details.
Yeah, because the great vocab is really like a side benefit of these sentences. The reason to use these template sentences is to, like Aubrey said, save time and make sure your essay is organized in exactly the way that it needs to be to get a 7 or higher. These sentences are a map for you and the examiner. These are how you organize your essay around these sentences, right? So here is an example thesis statement, which is the last sentence of the introduction. This comes directly from the 3 keys templates. All right. In the following paragraphs, I will proffer justification for both viewpoints before sharing my opinion. So, awesome grammar structure as well. Another side benefit there. But that vocab, proffer, justification, what do those words mean?
Yeah, so proffer is just a synonym for provide. I will provide justification, but this is a band 9 word. Students
Hmm.
rarely know to use this word. So if you have that template sentence down, you're saving so much time not having to brainstorm what can I put in my thesis sentence? And you've got, like you said, high level grammar structure and band 9 vocabulary.
And justification just means proof, evidence, reasons. So imagine if the original student that we were talking about today, imagine if she was like, oh, I can't use proffer justification because it's too high level. So I'm going to change that and make it, a band 5, 6 sentence. You could say, like, I will write about reasons for
Mm.
opinions.
Mm.
Like, that's literally all we're saying, you know? So don't change those words. Don't take any good words out of your essay. Use the words we give you because you know they're correct, you know they're high level, and they're used correctly.
Yes. And then in your conclusion, these two are perfect. I just did a writing class where a student had neglected to write a thesis sentence and neglected a final sentence to make the conclusion paragraph two
Oh, no.
sentences. These are two places you can really save a lot of time. You don't want to be thinking, okay, what goes in my conclusion? That should take you minimal time because in Three Keys IELTS, as our students know, you know exactly what to put there. It's sort of formulaic with these
Mhm.
template sentences, high scoring, saving you so much time in the brainstorm and in writing. So here's an example template sentence for your final sentence. You've shared your opinion, you've restated your opinion in the conclusion, and then you can say, in the future, it is my firm desire that, and then you share what you want people to do, what you've been saying. And, it is my firm desire that every individual will recycle more, something like that, right? And this word firm to use as an adjective, just meaning strong. It is my, strong desire. Like this
Mhm.
means this is
Mhm.
what I really want. That's
Mhm.
band nine. Students don't know to use that.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So just as a last note about time management, even though this is about vocabulary today, um, I've seen a lot of students struggle with the timing of the essay, and as far as spending too much time thinking about what they don't have to think about. So, more specifically, I mean, students spend so much time just in the introduction, and what
Mm.
a waste of time. I mean, it's the first paragraph of your essay. It should be formulaic, it should be super fast because you need to spend your time in the body. You need to spend your time thinking about amazing ideas and examples and details. That's what raises your score. The introduction and conclusion, remember guys, these are general, these are just overviews, and you cannot spend a lot of time there. You don't have enough time
No,
to spend
exactly.
10 minutes writing an introduction. So don't think about it too much, okay? Just use our templates, get it over with, make it great, and then spend all of your mind resources in the body.
Yes, exactly. Make it easy for yourself. If you're not sure where to go to do that, you can find our course at allearsenglish.com/keys, KEYS, for every strategy you need on every part of the exam and all of the template sentences to save you time and make it easy to get the score you need.
Exactly, exactly. So check it out, guys. allearsenglish.com/keys. That's KEYS. All right, awesome. Good episode today, Aubrey. Thank you.
Yes, awesome. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.